Hello you guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. For today's video I have part 1 of my April market vlog, which as I'm recording this, it is like end of June pretty much. I apologize for the delay in posting, really just in general, but especially these market vlogs that are from a while ago. As you guys know, if you've been keeping up with me here on this channel or just on my second Instagram page or whatever, I am in full-time nursing school, so finding time to edit and post YouTube videos has been hard to come by. So again, I apologize, but I appreciate you being here despite this being so many months later. But anyways, I still did want to share this video with you guys, even though it is from a while ago. So as normal for my market style videos, I have a link in the description box down below for you guys that has a Google Doc, which includes all of my market setup within it. So if you're interested in my tent or my tables or any of my display items, everything is linked on there for you to purchase any of them if you would like to use them yourself. Or in general if you just want to see where I got it or whatever. And now I am doing this April market video in the same style that I did March and February, where I vlogged during the events, and then I am going to give you a little bit of a breakdown, tell you what bestsellers were after, and then we'll move on to the next event. So that is my plan for today for you guys. And now, like I said in the beginning of this video, this is just a part 1 for April. I had so many market days that I decided to split this video in 2, so it's not like a 2 or 3 hour long video. So one of the next videos you'll see on my channel will be part 2. This video is part 1, which is the first and second weekend of April. I had 2 different events both of those weekends, and they were both Saturday and Sunday events. So with that, we're going to get into the footage from the first weekend of April, which was 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days for this event. And this event was a blueberry festival, just so you guys know. Here's my breakfast. Some banana protein overnight oats and add an apple in it. I do about half an apple, so I have the other half of my apple for tomorrow. And then I have some snacks as well as my lunch for today, my breakfast for tomorrow, and then my lunch for tomorrow in the fridge here. That's all gonna go in this bag right before I leave, which will be right after eating this. And I'll be headed to my parents and then headed to the market. Alright you guys, in the car, letting it warm up a bit before I drive off. I am about a 45, probably 40 minutes, since it's so early in the morning, drive from my parents' house, so I'm going there first. Then the goal is to leave their house at like 7:15-ish in order to head to the market so we can get there by about 8:30-ish, and then be set up by 10 for the 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. today, and then the same event I'll be at tomorrow, also 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. 3 p.m. Can you tell I'm tired? But anyway, I have the car loaded with a bunch of stuff. We have a plushie bag full of plushies that I've made since last weekend at my last market. And then we have some Easter baskets actually that I made up with plushies in them, and some fun little like pencils and erasers and things. You guys have probably already seen them if you follow me online. So anyways, I have those. This is my first market that they're coming to. Then I have my yarn bag, my overnight bag because I'm staying at my parents since there's 2 days and this market is closer to them than it is to me. And then water bottle and bag of food, because now that I'm gluten-free, I cannot eat most things at markets, unfortunately. So I packed salads for lunch and then overnight oats for tomorrow morning. So anyways, that is what's going on. I'm gonna drive off here in a second, and yeah, my mom thankfully already loaded the car yesterday. She is awesome. And yeah, so once I get there, I'm just gonna have to load this stuff that I have into her car, and then we'll be headed off to the event. Hi you guys, as I'm recording this voiceover, I am currently sick, so don't mind the way my voice sounds right now. But anyways, here we are at this market setting up. For this market, I did 3 tables with my typical Z formation. As you guys know, I like that setup a lot because it allows me to be close up to the customers and have conversations with them, as well as they can see that front table just walking past without having to come into the booth. So it's a little less intimidating than having to walk directly inside immediately. So that was the setup at this event, and actually off to the right side of our booth was the bar as well. And I think that was great as far as where we were set up, because a lot of people were standing right there, and then they ended up looking at my products because they were just waiting in line right there at the bar. So I think that ended up helping my sales quite a bit as well, because they would come over right after they got their drinks. So that was also good as far as where I was set up. Here is the setup for today. I got a new pickle jar because if you guys saw in the last market video, the other one broke. So we have a new one, plastic, so that should last a long time. And then we also have blueberries here that I don't normally have because this is a blueberry festival today. And then we have the whole Easter table, and for the first time ever, I have little Easter baskets for sale. I have 7 of them total, 4 of the small ones and 3 of the larger ones. It has been craziness, but I'm just sitting down to eat my salad that I made. But yeah, it's been crazy, so I haven't filmed anything since it started, but eating right now. You guys, today's probably been my best show ever. The bees are gone, the baby turtles are gone, the axolotls are gone, the opossums are gone, the chicks are gone, the ducks are gone. I've sold multiple eggs, I've been making them the whole time. Penguins are gone. I sold quite a few of my baskets. Craziness. Here's the after. We're about to pack up. Today has been fantastic. The best market I've had in a long time. I took down this display earlier to consolidate, and yeah, this is everything that's left. Okay, here's how we're leaving it for the night. I am gonna drop the tent down on top of the stuff here so that hopefully it doesn't blow too much overnight. And then this is the stuff we're taking with the product, obviously. Stuff my mom bought, and then some displays that I'm not gonna end up using tomorrow because I sold a whole bunch today. So I'm going to drop the tent down now, and I'm going to add one more bungee cord to the other side of the sign so that it'll stay overnight. Hello you guys, good morning. I apologize if this is kind of a weird angle. My tripod actually ended up breaking yesterday, so I kind of just have to have you at a weird angle so you can actually see me. But anyways, I'm getting ready this morning, and I wanted to chat with you guys because I didn't get the chance to talk to you very much yesterday because yesterday was so great that I was busy the whole entire time, which is a great problem to have. But yeah, it was just quite overwhelming, and the last thing I was doing was picking up the camera when the event was so busy and I was constantly talking to people and everything. So yeah, yesterday was the best day I've had at a market in a long time, and like out of all of my years of doing markets, like my second best day ever at a market. There's one day that I made more money, but the fee was a little bit higher. But as far as just one singular day, like today was the best. Or sorry, yesterday was the best. Today is day 2 of the same event, so I'm hoping for a lot, but I also don't have a ton to sell because yesterday was so well. So today automatically can't be as good as yesterday because I just don't have the inventory for it anymore, but I do still have a lot, so hopefully it is still a close competitor to yesterday. But anyways, I'm just getting ready now, and then I'm gonna head downstairs and eat some breakfast, and then we'll head out. We were able to leave the tent up and the tables up and things, as you saw yesterday. I think I recorded that part. So we just have to go back and put displays up and the signage and the product. So we're gonna leave here at like 7:30-ish to do all of that. But anyways, I don't think I really have much for you guys this morning. I'm honestly just really tired. I stayed up too late crocheting. I did record a video seeing how much I could crochet before I was like actually just falling asleep while crocheting. I don't know if you guys already saw that video or not. I don't know what order things are going to be posted in, but anyways, I did record that, so if you haven't seen it yet, you'll see it at some point soon. I'm gonna go so I can actually get ready quickly and stop talking, because as I talk and get ready, I am just very distracted, and need to go downstairs soon so that I can eat, and then we can head out for day 2. Very bare looking. I didn't get any footage of us setting up today because I forgot the tripod at home. It's literally sitting there next to where my yarn bag was, and I grabbed the yarn bag but not the tripod. So anyways, we're here though and set up. Took a whole table down as well as a few displays because it's just not very full. I also brought some Halloween / fall stuff because there's not much stock left, so we have fall right next to Easter. But at least the table is full. Or fuller. I can't say full. It's not full at all. But fuller than it would be without that stuff. And we have Valentine's Day bees because I sold out of regular yesterday as well. So craziness, but here's the setup. So here's day 2, and I just got mostly footage of me crocheting, and that's it because like I told you guys in the previous clips, I did end up breaking my tripod the day before, and it did work still, but I actually forgot it at home in general. So the fact that it was broken and I forgot it, I just had to balance my phone on the table. So anyways, I did have a little more time to crochet this day versus the previous day because the previous day was so busy. I mean, they were both busy, which was a great problem to have, but I didn't end up having much time to crochet at all the previous day. But this day I did end up having a good amount of time to get a few items done, so that was good because I definitely needed to restock after how successful the first day was. So just a little clips of me crocheting, and that's about it. good show this has been. And finally we have the after, which as you guys can tell, I was completely wiped at the end of this event. It was quite crazy how little my inventory looked, even with the new stuff I had brought in. So again, fantastic problem to have, but it was just crazy looking at the end from how much I started with versus how much I ended off with. But anyways, just taking down now, and then you guys are going to hear all about how this event actually went. This is the bag full of plushies that don't have price tags, so like leggy frogs and bees and axolotls and things, and this is all that's left. So definitely a great show this weekend. Alright, so now that you guys have seen footage from this event, I think you heard me talking about it a little, but this was my best event to date, which is super duper exciting, obviously. So it was just by a tiny little bit. This was my best event ever, but it was my best event ever. So I just went back to what was previously my best event ever, just so I could give you guys a little bit of a reference to now this particular event we're talking about. And funny enough, it was a $2 difference. I made $2 more this weekend than I did my previous event that held the record for my best ever. And funny enough, I made 89 sales at both of those events, with about $17 being the average sale. So the average sale at this one for April 2025 was $17.38. My previous event that held the record for the best was back in October of 2023, and that was $17.39 as the average sale. So very, very close, literally $2 off, like I said, of that previous event. Now, I would continue to do that previous event if they still had it, but unfortunately, they do not still have that event, so I've had to do other ones in the month of October. I actually, today as I'm sitting here, just applied for the fall event that they have at the place where I did this Blueberry Festival. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I get into that one, and hopefully it can be just as good, if not even better. But anyways, yes, I really thought it was funny that I beat my record by $2 whole and had the same amount of sales and everything. 89 sales. I think I already said that. Maybe I didn't. 89 sales for both of those weekends, which is funny. But anyways, that is the deal with that. Now let me tell you the top sellers, of course, because I know everybody wants to know that. So for this Blueberry Festival, I did make about a dozen blueberries, and I sold 9 of them. So that was the most of a singular item that I ended up selling. Next most was chickens. I sold 8 of those, which chickens are always popular, so that's not a surprise at all. Next most, we have a tie for eggs and chicks. I sold 7 of both of those. Next most after that was mini octos. I sold 6 of those. And I also sold 6 chicken nuggets, so that was a tie for those as well. And then we had a tie for axolotls and bees. I sold 5 of each of those. I also sold 4 of my Easter baskets, which I did 4 small ones and 3 larger ones, which you guys I'm sure saw in the vlog footage. I sold all 3 of the smaller ones, but none of the bigger ones actually at all. So I'll definitely be making the smaller ones again next year. The bigger ones I'll probably still bring to the markets that I do this coming up spring because I have them, but I will not make a big deal out of making more of the large ones, just the small ones. But anyways, I did end up selling all 4 of these small baskets. I also sold 4 opossums and 4 frogs. Other items that did pretty well, I sold 3 pickles, 3 chunky mushrooms, 3 triceratops, 3 ducks, 3 regular size octos, 3 penguins, I sold 2 mini bunnies, 2 stingrays, and 2 baby turtles, and 2 octopus keychain, and then everything else I sold was just singular of each item, but I will go down the list and tell you them. So I sold my big butterfly, which a lot of you have commented on my videos and stuff being like, I don't know why she hasn't sold, she's so cute, which I totally agreed with, but she did finally sell at this event. And then I also sold a strawberry cow, a sparkly cow, a classic cow, and just another one that I had in here as cow. So I actually don't know which one that one was. But anyway, I sold 4 different cows. I sold a mermaid, I sold a male member, I sold one of my sitting bears, which is my own no-sew bear pattern. I sold a heart friend, I sold a clownfish, a long neck dinosaur, a ghost. On the second day I brought Halloween/fall stuff because my inventory was looking so low after the first day, like you guys saw. So I did sell one of those ghosts that I brought, but that was the only like fall Halloween stuff that I did end up selling. And then I sold 1 frog keychain, 1 leggy frog keychain, and 1 flower keychain. So that is everything from this event that sold, which is crazy madness. The amount of stuff that sold ended up being a ton. So with that, we're gonna go on to the footage from the second weekend of April, which was a flower festival this time. And this was a much longer event. It was 9 to 5 on the Saturday and the Sunday. Hi you guys, I am here and about to leave my apartment to go to my parents and then get there, load up the car, and head to the market. This weekend's market is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days, so much longer than last weekend. I didn't actually talk to you guys after last weekend because it was a crazy market. I don't think I even included much footage of us setting up and then taking down because I also forgot my tripod that day on Sunday. But that was such a good market. That was my best market I've ever had by actually $2, which is really funny. But I'm sure you heard about all of that in the breakdown. But yeah, I also started school this past Monday. As you're seeing this, I'm sure it's been a while since I started school, but as I'm recording this, I started school this past Monday, and I'm a few credits shy of being full-time, but nursing school, so it's a lot more than some other schools are. So anyways, I have been very busy this week without crochet included. I've crocheted as much as I could over the past few days, but did not have very much time, so a little bit concerned with the amount of inventory, or I should say the lack of inventory I have, but we're gonna see going into it. I've heard really good things about this show as well, so yeah, we are going to see. This is a flower festival, by the way, so yeah, also at like a farm and stuff like last weekend was. So anyways, I feel like my hair is crazy today. It'll hopefully kind of flatten out on its own. It's getting to a point where it's like at a weird growth stage. And then I also slept with it up last night, so that is why it's just weird looking, but whatever. It'll probably end up being up as I'm setting up and everything. How many times can I say up in one sentence? But yeah, I'll probably end up putting my hair up as we do the setup. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna go and get to my parents. As long as we leave my parents by 7, we should be good, and I should be getting there by like 6:30ish, probably a little after. So anywho, going now. And here we are for day 1 of the second weekend, going ahead and getting set up. A lot of times I go ahead and put up the tent without recording yet, just so my mom can go ahead and move the car and we're not in anybody's way. And then I'll go ahead and start setting up tables and things while she is moving the car. So that's what we did this day. So that's why the first footage you're seeing is me putting up a table and putting on tablecloths and things. instead of the tent, because of course the tent comes first, but I almost never record that. But anyways, just getting the setup down here. As you're gonna see, I did less tables this time because after the previous weekend I did not have near as much inventory. Also, you're seeing here we put up the sides, which normally I don't do. Normally I like to have more of an open concept and be able to like talk to my vendor neighbors as well. But at this market, everybody had their tent walls up. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have mine up too. That way my space looks more like my space and doesn't really bleed into other people's. So that's what we ended up doing. And then that way the night in between, I was able to just put the front on my booth, the front wall, I guess I should say, and kind of like close up shop that way instead of having to put all 4 walls on at the end of the day. We just had to do the one front wall. So anyways, you're also watching us fight this big banner. I love the big new banner, but it is a little bit of a pain sometimes to get it up. Have to use like heavy duty zip ties. Can't use the like small ones. But anyways, we end up getting that up, of course. I think my mom was swatting at a bug or something just then. But anyways, finally get that up, and then of course we put out plushies and everything. Here's the setup. I did one last table because obviously a lot less inventory than normal. But this is what it's looking like for today. Hello, we are set up as you guys saw. It is really not very busy yet or anything. There's actually like nobody walking around other than vendors. And we've officially been started for about 30 minutes, but I didn't really expect it to be super busy first thing in the morning since this is such a long event and it's beautiful weather all day today. At a lot of events, when it's hot, people will get there super early so that they can avoid the heat part of the day. But for today and tomorrow it doesn't really matter because it's a high of like 74 or something. So anyways, not too worried about it or anything, just kind of chilling. My mom went off to go get some coffee, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I am going to get as much crocheting done as possible while I'm sitting here, because now that I am in school, I have to make the most of my time, every spare moment, whatever. So no more just sitting on the phone, whatever. Gotta crochet in every spare moment or study. So anyways, I'm gonna get some crocheting done so that I can be putting more product out as I am sitting here. But that's all I've got for you guys. I'm gonna go and get crocheting done. I thought I would show you guys really quick. It's a cute little farm. That's the produce stand over there on the left, and then on the right is like a little shop. Behind all of that is some food vendors. Today has been a lot more slow than I had hoped, but we still have quite a few hours left, so hopefully people will continue to show up. This event was also last weekend, and a lot of vendors that were here last weekend said Sunday was actually the busier day, so maybe that'll be the case this weekend as well. But anyways, I've only had 2 sales today so far. My one bee and one spider sold. So not very busy, but that's okay. I'm still sitting here getting crocheting done, and hanging out with my mom is always a good time. And her and I always have a good time just at these events in general, talking to other vendors and all the things. So it's never a waste to hang out and get your name out there and have a couple of sales, even if it is a little bit less than you'd hoped. So anyways, I'm just getting my crocheting done. I have made 2 baby octos, a regular octo, and then I'm on my second chicken body right now. Well, it really hasn't picked up at all, unfortunately, and we only have about an hour left now. I'm literally like only $5 over the fee total for the weekend, at least. Not what just today would have been, like if you divided it by 2. So I'm at least covered for the fee, but only by like $5. So that really sucks, because obviously by the first day you hope to be like at least quite a bit over the fee for the whole weekend, so that you can just be total profit for the second day. But yeah, a ton of the other vendors have said that Sunday was busier last weekend, so fingers crossed that is the case. I'm gonna try to tonight spend a good amount of time crocheting, specifically items that are good sellers, like chicken nuggets. I forgot to pack chicken nugget yarn. I only have 1 chicken nugget left. I didn't sell any today, but I've had the one sitting there the whole time. And minis, I made 2 of them today and sold 1, so I'm gonna try to make more of those. Maybe some more keychains tonight or something. I don't know, whatever I feel like making, I guess. But right now I'm making a little pickle. I only have 2 pickles currently. None of them have the angry faces. Everybody loves the angry pickles, so I'm gonna make this one with the angry face. Yeah, it's kind of all I've got. I'm just hanging out for the last hour or so. Really, there's nobody, honestly. Like, not very many people for this. And I doubt there will be new people for the last hour, because when you come to something this big, you're gonna come not in the last hour, because there's way more to do than just an hour. So I don't even know if I'm making any sense, honestly. I feel like I'm not. But anyway, my brain is jumbled. I've also been like studying a little and teaching my mom anatomy and physiology as we've been here. She's off with my sister and her friend right now, picking flowers. But anyways, my brain is just jumbled between anatomy and physiology and sleep deprivation, because I never get enough sleep the night before market. Who does ever? And then yeah, just the sitting here and lack of customers. Yeah, doesn't make you feel great. But anyway, I'm going to, or lack of shoppers I should say, not customers, because there's not even shoppers to be customers. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. I'm gonna just continue to crochet until it's time to pack up, basically. And we will leave the tent and everything like I did last weekend. Just take the plushies down. And I actually remember my tent walls this time, so I don't have to put the tent down awkwardly like I did last weekend. Just have to put the other wall up in the front and close it up. So anyway, that is all. I forgot to show you guys my lunch, but I made the same salad. I also just feel like chatting at this point. There's literally nobody here. My mom's been gone for a while, so I don't have her to talk to, and then there's no customers walking around, like barely at all. So I just feel like chatting at this point. So anyways, I forgot to show you my lunch, but I did have lunch around noon. It's the same salad I made last week. I made it for today and tomorrow as well. Obsessed. And then Primal Kitchen Ranch. I'm trying to be, I have Hashimoto's disease. If you follow me on my second Instagram page, or just in general, you might know that. So I've been gluten-free for a couple months now, and then I'm trying to do dairy-free, mostly dairy-free. What I'm about to show you is not dairy-free, but mostly dairy-free. So anyways, I am cutting out most dairy, gluten, soy, and sugar again, what I'm about to show you is not dairy or sugar free, but you know, there's exceptions every now and again, especially at markets, because it's hard to get high protein packaged foods that you can keep at markets that do not include sugar or dairy or one of the things. So I've completely cut out gluten though. And then when I'm less busy with markets and cooking like all at home, my plan is dairy to be completely gone, as well as soy and most of sugar, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to cut out all sugar. But anyways, those are the diet things you're supposed to follow to reverse. Well, sometimes fully reversing isn't even possible, but lower your thyroid levels, and I have been able to do that with just being gluten-free. My levels have gone from 4 to about 1, I think 1.2 something, and I was like 4.3, and I'm on the same level of medication, just dietary and exercising and things has been the only thing that's changed. Anyways, I could go on and on and on about that for literally ever, but high protein snacks and meals is my big thing. So the salad I make has a bunch of chicken, turkey bacon, and hard-boiled eggs in it, and then I use the Primal Kitchen ranch because it is dairy-free and gluten-free. And then I'm having this Think high protein bar. This is the creamy peanut butter flavor. I had one for the first time yesterday, and it's honestly not the best. Like, I will not repurchase them, but I'm eating them because I bought them, and I need the protein while I'm at markets and things. At some point I'll make my own like protein balls and things that are gluten-free and dairy-free and all the things, but for now this is what we got, because I don't have all that much time with school now, and then I don't have, you know, a million things I want to bring to keep it cold and whatever else. So anyways, eating this. I also had a little protein shake earlier, and then my salad, and then yeah, that's my market food currently. When it comes to the Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, whatever you want to call it, thing with diet and exercise and whatever, obviously I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. This is all research I've done on my own. I've had actual doctors tell me that diet and exercise wouldn't change much, and then I have done it anyway, and it has changed literally so much. So, just saying, it is possible. I know there's a lot of people out there that have the same issues, so it is possible to help yourself and feel better. Although yes, it sucks to cut out gluten and dairy and all the things that are absolutely fantastic. You can also make a lot of really, really good recipes that don't include those things. So, anyways, that's my Hashimoto's rant over. If you at all care to hear more about my journey with that, follow Katie Being Not So Creative on Instagram. I share on my Instagram stories anything from just my day-to-day life to recipes I'm making for this diet and all sorts of things. Plus, in general, you can send me a DM on Instagram or whatever if you want to hear more about it or ask about my experience or whatever. I'm totally an open book with that because it has been life-changing for me, so I would like for it to be for other people as well if there's anybody out there watching it that has the same thing going on. So, random rant over for real this time. I am going. Alright, here's the after for day 1. Only sold a handful of things today, so definitely hoping tomorrow is much better. Good morning, you guys. We're here for day 2. We're here about an hour early to put the setup back together and get started. And here I am now setting up for day 2 of this second weekend. So I started out by just getting all the displays back up. I kind of set them all downward just in case there was any sort of gust of wind or whatever that could somehow get into the tent. I didn't want everything to get knocked on the floor. So I put all the signage back up and set the displays upright, and then of course next was plushies. Now on a totally different note, I want to know what you guys thought of my rambliness in this video. I did edit quite a lot of it out, so there was even more that I cut out of this video, but let me know if you enjoyed it or if you don't. Either way, I promise I won't get my feelings hurt. I just want to know what you guys want to see. I've heard before that some of you like the videos being longer and like hearing me chat more because it gives you more time to crochet, or maybe you don't like that. I don't know, but let me know what you guys feel about that, and I can either include that kind of stuff in videos or exclude it in the future. So just let me know. I want your opinion on that. Otherwise though, here we are just figuring out the setup for day 2. It is pretty similar to day 1, of course. I got the same table layout and everything, so just putting all the displays back as they were the day before pretty much, and then of course all the plushies. Here's the setup for day 2. Hoping today is busier. A lot of other vendors said that was the case last weekend, so I hope that's the case this weekend. Pretty much same setup as yesterday, almost. I will say, I already started off the day not great because, well, 2 reasons. First off, woke up this morning to the cats throwing up on my bed, which was nice. So fun. Washed my sheets this morning. And then also went to Dunkin' this morning because we had more time today since we didn't have to set up the full set and everything. Went to Dunkin' this morning and got an iced tea as I normally do, and it was completely sour, absolutely nasty. So poured that out and threw it away once we got here. So today's just off to a great start so far. Hopefully things end up being better. I did end up crocheting, well, I actually didn't crochet them, I just finished them last night. But 2 chickens and a pickle that I crocheted while I was here yesterday, I've ended up finishing last night. So that's some new products out. And then I do have a little chick keychain that I just freehanded. I'll show you it. I didn't actually put it out for sale or anything because it's for another vendor. But I just freehanded this little guy for another vendor friend that requested it. So this is super cute, and I'm gonna give it to her for free because she's a super sweet lady and she always gives me stuff for free, so a little exchange. But anyways, that's all we've got going on right now. I'm going to just crochet until it starts in a few minutes and hope that it's much busier than yesterday was. I'm going to buy some produce before it gets super busy today because it just started 10 minutes ago technically. So my mom's holding down the tent. We gotta get some produce. Definitely bananas. Got my produce and I am headed back to the tent right now. I'll give you guys a little haul. There's only $15.45 or something like that for all this. Great. Alright, the lighting is a little crazy, but here's a little haul for you guys. So I got a little tiny bag. I'm not gonna unwrap it honestly because it's glass and breakable and I don't want to rewrap it bad. But anyway, it's a sweet potato butter, which sounds so interesting to me. I love sweet potatoes, so I got sweet potato butter, and then I just have some fruit. At this point, I'm just chatting with you guys. I did this yesterday too. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, Yarna.
This time she's here. Yesterday she was off doing a million things. But I'm just honestly chatting with you guys at this point because there ain't anything going on today and there wasn't much yesterday. But we're only like 10 minutes in today or something. 25 minutes in, something like that.
Total.
Time is a construct.
Right.
Anyways, I have garlic. So I'm almost out of that at home. Bananas. I go through probably like almost this many bananas in a week, so. And then 1 red onion for pasta salad this week. And some oranges. I got 4 oranges. I'm gonna eat one right now, because
why not?
Yeah, why not, right? Well, it's fresh, so. That is my little haul, and all of that was like $15.50 or something. So, not too bad. And the butter on its own, I think, was $7, so the rest of it was just produce. So, anywho, orange time. Well, today's been way less busy even than yesterday so far. So hopefully things will pick up here soon. It's 12:12 right now, so hoping that people will maybe be getting here more towards the afternoon. We'll see. Alright, you guys. Today there's gnats everywhere. Anyways, today is about what yesterday has been. Honestly, I think there may be less people here today, which is crazy. Anyways, I've made a little bit over double the fee now. I'll just tell you because whatever. The fee was $100 for the weekend. I'm at $208 right now. So definitely not good, honestly. My brain is just like not working. I stayed up a little later last night crocheting and stuff, and also just tired of sitting here and having pretty much no action at all. But we have a few more hours, so I'm just gonna crochet, make use of my time, crochet. You win some, you lose some is all I can say, because last weekend was fantastic. This weekend is the exact opposite, so it just proves what events I need to continue doing and which ones I don't. We have a little less than an hour now until we pack up and leave, and it's definitely slowed down quite a bit, but I have had a few sales in the last 2-3 hours since I updated you last, so today is a little better than yesterday ended up being, but still not a very good show for the amount of hours we spent here and the amount I spent on the booth. So yeah, like I said earlier, you win some, you lose some. This weekend is a loss, but it's okay. I guess it's never a loss when you make a profit, technically. Don't mind me just swatting, there's little gnats everywhere. I guess it's never technically a loss when you make a little bit of profit, but spending your time here 9 to 5 and then barely making a profit 9 to 5 2 days in a row, and then barely making like $160 profit, something like that, is definitely discouraging. But anyways, I'm just crocheting a little more until it's time to pack up. I'll probably pack up, honestly, at like 4:40-ish, especially if other vendors start packing up, but probably like 4:40-ish, because yesterday nobody was shopping around towards the afternoon time. Everybody was leaving at like 4, even 3 o'clock. People were leaving. There's barely anybody walking around right now, so. Here is the after. Quite slow, for sure, as you guys have been hearing all about. And with that, here is the after. I did just want to say, as much as you guys have heard me talk about this event being crappy, as well as you're going to hear me mention that even more in the outro of this video, I don't want to come off as complaining. I am very grateful for all of the customers, of course, despite it being a very slow weekend at this event. I am very grateful for all the customers that I did have, and I just want to let you guys know that I show these videos even when they don't go well to give you guys the reality of doing markets, and in no way am I trying to complain. I just say that because I have gotten a few comments before of people being like, you complain too much or whatever. Just know that's not my intention, so I hope it does not come off that way. In general, I'm just trying to provide you with the reality of not only how I'm feeling, but also in general how it's going, and the fact that it was not going near as well as I had expected. So anyways, with that though, just getting everything packed up and ready to go home since the weekend was finally over. 9 to 5 both days was really not fun. But anyways, was getting everything back and ready to get up in the car and head home. Alright you guys, so you saw a lot of footage from this event. I think even more from this event than the previous one because I was so busy at the previous one, and as you saw, I was not busy at all at this one. Kind of funny how it worked out that the first weekend of April I had my best event ever, and then the second weekend of April I had one of my worst events ever. Like pretty dang close to worst event ever. The last market video you guys saw from me in March, the one market that I did really bad at, I actually realized that was my worst event ever. I went back, after editing that video, I went back to the video here on my channel from like 2 or 3 years ago that is titled My Worst Market Ever, and I rewatched it and I realized I sold a $35 item at that market. And it was the only thing I sold, but I did sell a $35 item and there was no vendor fee, so I technically made $35 at that one. Versus in the last March vlog you guys saw, the event I went to, I made $25 after the fee. So that was actually, in fact, my worst event ever. This one felt pretty dang close. Not only was it, like I said, 9 to 5, both days, so it was sitting there for 8 hours both days with pretty much no foot traffic, so it just felt terrible. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it felt very discouraging, and I'm probably saying it a lot nicer than I would have if I filmed this back in April for sure, because like I said, it's June now, but it felt very discouraging to sit there and have almost no sales and almost nobody walking around. I did thankfully make my fee back because this event was not a very high fee, but I barely made that fee back, and so then of course not much of a profit at all, especially when you consider sitting there for 8 hours both days and driving there and setting up and all the things, so more like 10 hours, probably even closer to like 11, 12 hours both days when you include setting up and all of that. Yeah. definitely was discouraging for this event. So anywho though, I had one event that was really good and one that was not. And I would ordinarily say, because the first event went so well, I didn't have enough inventory in order for the second one to go well. I still had a good amount of inventory. There was just nobody shopping. Like, nobody there at all. Hardly anybody there. Like, most of it was other vendors shopping from each other. But anyways, I will just give you a little brief overview of what sold. So I did have one spider sell, had 2 chickens sell, I had a seal sell, I had a loaf cat sell, 2 frogs, an axolotl, a bee, 3 mini octos, 1 pickle, 1 chick, a chicken keychain, which was my first time ever making the chicken keychain, and I've made it a handful of times since, and they have been selling pretty well for me, so I will be adding that to my inventory. It's just a pattern I freehanded. It's not anything that's released, but maybe I'll release it. Who knows? But anyways, a chicken keychain, a chicken nugget, a gummy bear keychain, an octopus, a skull keychain, and $2 worth of stickers. So that was all for items sold at that event. As you can tell, a lot less than the previous event. I think you guys saw that I even went and walked around the farm on the second day. I got some produce, which normally I'm the type of person, I don't like to leave my tent unless I have to. So like the only times I really leave is when I go to the bathroom. Otherwise, like food and things I pack so that I can minimize the amount of time I'm spending away from my booth. While my mom does a great job and I am super grateful for her running my booth when I am gone, I try not to leave my tent because I like being the face of my business. I like being able to answer people's questions. I like them seeing me crochet so they know I'm not a reseller, you know, so I try to be there and be involved the whole entire time, but I was getting so discouraged on the second day that I just was like, I'm gonna enjoy it. I paid money to be here and I barely have made my fee back, so I am going to walk around and enjoy this event. So that is what I ended up doing, and I'm pretty sure I filmed a little for you guys as well, as far as the farm and things like that. And then I also just had like rambly rants, I think. Who knows how much of that footage I'm actually going to include, but if I'm remembering correct from back in April, I'm pretty sure I was just like chatting with you guys about life and stuff. Because there was nothing else to be doing. Anyways though, I did think it was kind of funny that I ended up having such a good weekend and then such a not good weekend right back to back. Like I said, I wanted to split this video in 2 because it was so much footage from both events in general, being Saturday and Sunday, but also I kind of wanted to have it together to show you guys that you could have a really good event and then a not good event literally the next weekend. So that's just how it ended up being for me for these first 2 events of April. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below if you did any markets in April or any markets in general the past couple of months, or if you're doing markets right now. I'd love to hear about how they're going or how they went. And I'd love to also hear from you guys if you have any sort of new items you're crocheting that are good sellers for you at markets. I'm always wanting to try out new things, but a little hesitant sometimes, of course. So yeah, just let me know all your market things down below. And in general, I just love chatting with you guys, so even if you just want to be like, hey Katie, I'm having a great day, I went yarn shopping, whatever you want to talk about, you know, I love chatting with you guys and I always try to get back to the comments. So definitely leave me some comments down below. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. You don't want to miss out on the part 2 of the April markets, as well as hit the notification bell when you are subscribing, because I don't really have a posting schedule anymore here on my channel. Like you guys know, I'm in nursing school, so pretty much as soon as I have a video finished for you guys, I am pressing post instead of waiting for a Friday or whenever I used to post, right? So I am trying to get videos out for you just whenever I am available to do so. So turning on that notification bell will let you know whenever there are videos up for you to watch. And if you guys would like to see more from me, there's always more videos of mine, my blog, my Etsy shop, all of my other social medias, so many things for you guys, linked in the description box down below. So if you want to check that out, then all of it is down there for you. But with all of that, thank you guys so very much for watching today's video. I will see you here in the next one, and hopefully soon one of the next ones will be the part 2 of the April vlog. I'll try not to leave you guys hanging too long with that. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you next time. Goodbye.